Welcome to No Things Considered. Look at me. I'm in video on top of having audio for once. How about that? And of course, I did not dress up. I'm wearing my 2006, it's not even 2016, 2006 Subway Series shirt. And I didn't shave. I've got a full neck beard going. So welcome back to No Things Considered with a full neck beard. That really gives me credibility, doesn't it? I think it's supposed to give me some sort of credibility. Anyway, there's a lot of things to talk about. I'm going to cover the quick one first that I'm tired of hearing about at this point. Coronavirus. I think the government's doing everything they can possibly do with it. You guys shouldn't be dirty to begin with. Like, I'm not sure exactly where people were just walking around not washing their hands and going around hanging out with people who are like vulnerable when they're sick. You're not supposed to go to work when you're sick. That's why there's sick leave. You're not supposed to hang out with people who have immunodeficiencies or your elderly family and friends when you have an illness because they're more vulnerable. This is common sense. And I think at the end of the day, we're all going to learn something here called don't be a dirty ass. It doesn't take much to go and wash your hands with warm water and soap. People are freaking out that like Purell is sold out at stores and things like that, and toilet paper is sold out for no reason. You know what's not sold out? Soap. You know what else isn't sold out? Warm water. We still get hot water to our houses. Well, they're usually heated up in the house. You can use both of those together, and they're more effective than Purell. Just go and wash your hands. I've said this a lot on my Twitter, but I had an issue at one point a long time ago when I was a contractor working for a business in an old building that had been refurbed, and I got skin infections. That's the scariest thing that can ever happen. My thumb, which you guys, if you're watching on the video, you may not be if you're listening to the podcast, had doubled in size. And that freaked me out. I went to the doctor, and it was a micro cut. It wasn't from anything other than like a little bit of a scratch on my finger, and something got in it, and I got infected. And my thumb doubled in size, and it was painful, and it was red, and it was crazy. And that could have spread to the rest of my body very, very quickly. And so ever since then, I've been kind of a germaphobe. When you go on like public transportation, when there's like poles, railings and things like that, why are you just touching them and not washing your hands? People's hands are all over them. Doorknobs, people's hands are all over them. Money. I know a lot of people don't carry a lot of money anymore, but cash is one of the dirtiest things and been historically one of the dirtiest things. When you go to the gym, wipe down the equipment that you're working on. This isn't rocket science, nor is what's happening with the stock market. The stock market's going to go down. The stock market's going to go back up as well. Once all of the hysteria dies down, once we get coronavirus contained, everything will bounce back. When there's no trade going on and there's actually no production happening, of course the stock market's going to tank. Everyone freaks out. They sell off. Now is the time, I really think, when you figure out, when things bottom out, I am personally going to throw some money in. And I don't have a lot of investments in there, but I'm not touching anything that I have in there already. So there's really no reason to panic if you're clean and respectful to others. I just don't understand. The other side of this coronavirus thing that's really, really bothering me is, well, it doesn't really bother me because it's to be predicted. When the left talks about coronavirus, they always say don't politicize it, but on the same hand, like literally in the exact same breath, they say Donald Trump is the worst at this and he's lying. So they're saying don't politicize it while politicizing it, like literally in the exact same breath. It makes no sense to me that they don't understand that this is complete hypocrisy. But then again, I've made an entire career pointing out hypocrisy on the left. Hillary Clinton, of course, weighing in today as well, saying it's very simple, Donald. You just have to do the following things. Like they're not already doing it? Like the CDC, I mean, they're not giving out free handouts, but they've made testing and treatment completely affordable and free in some instances. It's as if this is like a slap in the face. The left, when they're attacking the president, they're not just attacking the president, they're attacking all of the members of the CDC, all of the doctors, all of the medical professionals, all of the businesses who are working on this to solve this problem. It's as if he's not doing the most he can. He's doing absolutely the most he can. There was a bipartisan bill that was $8.3 billion passed. He shut down the borders. I mean, by the way, that's a whole nother conversation on how we all came together and realized border security needs to happen. How about that? Oh, wait, that worked out pretty well. That's going to be something that they're going to backtrack on. The Democrats are going to have to backtrack on in a couple of months when it comes down to it. Because I guarantee they're not paying quite enough attention yet. Because they're all about open borders. Remember, all about open borders, and then coronavirus hit. Everything's got to be on lockdown. So, where do they go from here? Be very interesting to see. My hair is a mess, too. Look, if you're listening to this, you don't realize how awful I look right now. But, hey, It's all good, man. It's all good. I'll shave for TV tomorrow. The other things I wanted to talk about are, of course, our boy Bernie Sanders not dropping out of the race. He had a big press conference yesterday. I really liked the distraction tactic that he played, where he went and he said he's going to have a big announcement at 1 o'clock. So, of course, they were doing this huge announcement, and all the news networks tune in, and they're like, oh, he's going to drop out because it was a bad election day, bad Tuesday. Turns out it wasn't a bad Tuesday for him, not in his mind, and he's going forward with the debate, which is going to be the most amazing debate of the entire cycle. Joe Biden has been protected from multiple people on stage for so long now. It's been about, every one of these debates, there's like 5 other people that are talking over each other, and there's fighting, and there's time getting taken away so that it doesn't expose just how lost he is. Now he's going to have to face Bernie Sanders, who is, look, I don't agree with him, but he's smart, and he stays on his toes, and he's going to be an attack dog here because his job now, Bernie Sanders, is to show that Joe Biden is weak. And 2 hours without any kind of masking by other people, no cover by other candidates. And they weren't intentionally trying to cover for him. Of course, they were trying to promote themselves, but not providing that cover is going to expose Joe Biden. It is going to get ugly. It's going to be Bernie versus Weekend at Bernie's. It's going to be an amazing, amazing show. I'm definitely going to tune in and live tweet on Sunday night. Actually, I'm planning on hanging out with a couple of friends and getting together and having a debate party. We have not had a debate party since these debates started in this election cycle, but this one, it is definitely warranted, and I'm very much so looking forward to this crazy, crazy, crazy party. The other thing I wanted to talk about today is my Washington Times piece. I wrote a piece yesterday on Joe Biden's basically verbal assault of a man who disagreed with him in Michigan. A Michigan auto worker, union worker, questioned him about guns. Joe Biden lost his shit on him. I can say that. It's a podcast. He told him he was full of shit. He called him a horse's ass. He said he'd take him outside and slap him. He called him a liar. Joe Biden can't handle criticism, and it's becoming more and more obvious that that's happening. But that's not what my piece was on. He also shushed. Let's not forget that. He shushed his assistant, a young woman who was with him. And if you take a look at her face, I was going to actually tweet out a picture of her face after it happened. She looked embarrassed, and she looked actually sad and demoralized. And I thought I felt bad for her, but she works for Joe Biden, so you get what you get. And I think they know what they're dealing with over there on that campaign. But I mean, this is, right after International Women's Day, of course, he berates the woman. But this, if Donald Trump did any one of those things, if he told a guy he was full of shit, there would be pearl clutchers and people losing their minds. If he told a guy he'd slap him, they'd say that he was, mentally incapable of continuing to be president because he's violent. Violence would be too much. We forgot about the AR-15. He's going to take your AR-15s. If you forgot what an AR-15 was and called it an AR-14, which I think is like some sort of gas-powered something. I don't even know. I tried to Google it. I don't know what it is. You can't get them in America. They would say Donald Trump has lost his mind. 25th Amendment again. Again. And if he shushed a woman, oh my God. Each one of these stories would be weeks of headline news about how Donald Trump, and campaign videos about how Donald Trump is incapable of being president because of X, Y, Z. Each one of them individually. But together in a 90-second clip, in just a 90-second clip, it would be so much. The CNN, this would be nonstop. MSNBC, this would be nonstop. It would be the cover page. You see Donald Trump pointing in the auto worker's face. That would be the cover page of the New York Times and the Washington Post.
You're full of shit. Now go to shush. Shush.
So yeah, I mean, there's the clip. That is insane. What happened, and I wanted to show that to you guys before we went for the day. I'm going to be doing these every day. I'm going to try to do them every day. I get very busy at times, but I want to make sure that we keep up with them. If you want to follow me, I've got a YouTube channel. We're going to have that on my YouTube channel, as well as you can follow me at Twitter at Tim Runs His Mouth, and my Facebook page, and my Facebook Watch page. I have a Facebook Watch show, of course, No Things Considered with Tim Young. If you're already on that page, we should just put all the links down below for you to follow all the things. And I want to thank you guys for following me throughout the years. And if you're new, thanks so much for joining us as well. If you like the show, share, subscribe, send it to your friends, comment below. I'm happy to shout out people as well. This has been fun, and it's been fun to be back doing these. This is very exciting to get back into the swing of things and having your own little blog. I have all of these channels. I might as well use them and talk to you guys on a regular basis. How about that? How about that little bit of logic right there? So thanks for joining me. Like, share, subscribe. thanks again for all of your support throughout the years. We will be with you very, very soon.